Hello, good morning. This is Advocate Akhan Pratap Singh. I am making this video in order you to provide full information about how legal proceedings goes in a courtroom. Why am I making this video? Because many times I have heard it. People, generally common people says that like court takes too much of time in order to provide justice to any victim, to any persons. Many times they usually says that easily that court takes too many of years to provide justice, but that is not the real reason behind it. Let me tell you about the real reason and myth about this whole process, what I have seen it throughout my practice life. As Let me also share you about my experience, what I have actually seen it. So as there was a case which I was actually dealing with, which was actually a high profile case related to the POXO, as it was being handed over to me by my senior, uh, and they were actually telling me you can actually deal this case in your own way. So I said it, okay, I will deal this case in my own way. So what happened in that case? Let me also tell you about the brief facts of this case without taking too much of your time, because I know your time is actually more important. So that is the reason I will tell you about the brief facts of this case. So the facts of this case was, there was a girl. She was getting kidnapped by a person, and her age was around 16 when this incident was occurred, and this incident was occurred around 2015. So, and at that time what was happened, she was getting kidnapped by the accused and some others person as well, which we were called it as co-accused in a legal terms. So she was getting kidnapped, and the reason, then her father actually lodged a FIR nearest police station. Then what was happened in that case? Police did investigation after and take too many of months. That's the reason they did the investigation, and then they filed the charge sheet. So what was happened in that particular case is that in an FIR there were 7 people whose name was being written by the IO. And then what was happened in that case, when the charge sheet was filed, 2 of the people name were getting removed out after the investigation. So and that is the thing. So what happened in that particular case is that after the charge sheet has been filed, court took the cognizance of this case, and then uh, like court took the cognizance of this case, and then court actually read out the whole charge sheet. Then they find out, okay, like in FIR few names were given, but and from the charge sheet those names has been removed out. And then what was happened, this case was being given to me last year. After the 7 or 8 years, this case was actually handed over to me. Why? Because the real reason behind it, because the victim party, they were actually thinking that their case was running in a different way. Like already the 2 people name has been removed out from the charge sheet, and then then what was they were actually not satisfying with the investigation report. And so what was happening in that case is that 2 files were actually running in a different court of jurisdiction. One was related to the kidnapping, where kidnapping charges were like section 363, 366 of IPC, and another charges were framed out that was related to section 376, which actually dealt with rape. So then I actually decided, okay, this case, I thought that, okay, when this case was actually handed over to me, then I decided, okay, let's just file the TA in order to transfer this case from one court to another. And I actually tried it in order to merge those 2 files in a single way, or in a single manner. So I actually filed a TA in order to mix those two files in a single file, and then we can proceed it to a single code, because the party was not happy with the ongoing process which was running out in two different codes. So they have actually told it to me. Then I said it to them that, like, merge two file in a single file, then we can proceed it. So I actually filed a TA. Then code went to court, like file went to the court, file went to a different court, and then a single file was actually running in a single code. So what was happened in that case then? And then file went to the court. Then I said to the court, okay, go for the witness testimony, because as already the case has take too much of court time. Then I told to the court, okay, try to provide the judgment as soon as possible. Court told it to me, okay, you can proceed with the you can try. They actually issued the process to the witnesses. So witnesses came in a order. So firstly, the complainant testimony actually being given in front of the judge. Then about the victim, she has also given her confession during the investigation, even in front of the magistrate as well. Then we proceeded it with the testimony of the medical doctor, and then IU also gives his testimony. So this is the overall process where the testimony actually took place in an order. So that is the reason it takes too much of time. And let me also tell you one thing, like during this testimony, what advocates actually do, they will actually do the chief of the victim, complainant, IO, medical officer, as well as they also do the cross examining all of those people who were witnesses. So that is the reason it take too much of time. And after a long process, finally judgment came in our favor. Now the accused actually get convicted for the offense of rape which was being committed to a minor, and he was getting guilty for the offense of POXO, and other co-accused also getting guilty for the offense of kidnapping. So that is the overall summary which I told it to you in a summarized manner. Hope I didn't take too much of your time, and that was the overall experience which I have shared it with you. And thank you. You can tell me.